If you think that winning the lottery or coming into a huge inheritance is going to solve all your problems, think again. Today we're talking about something called sudden wealth syndrome, and it's a really interesting phenomena that happens when people come into huge amounts of money suddenly and some of the things that can happen. So let's talk about this, shall we? So it refers to a psychological condition experienced by people who unexpectedly acquire large amounts of wealth. Interestingly enough, it often results in stress, anxiety, and emotional turmoil, which are about the opposite of what most of us imagine we would feel if we suddenly got a check for $1 million in the mail. The wealth may come from various sources, such as inheritance, lottery winnings, a business windfall, or even large bonus or legal settlement. While sudden wealth might seem like a dream come true, the reality can be overwhelming and lead to several emotional and psychological challenges, including guilt and shame, anxiety over losing the wealth, paranoia and isolation, identity confusion, as people might transition from being someone who didn't have very much money at all to suddenly being wealthy just in the blink of an eye, and impulse spending, because again, if you've never had any money, the first thing that you often want to do is go out and buy all those things you couldn't afford. It can unfortunately also cause family and relationship tensions. Wealth can really shift family dynamics, and so it can cause things like envy or increase expectations from others for financial support, resulting in real conflict. So I think it's really fascinating how sometimes, we think we're going to feel one way when something happens in our life that should be a good thing, right? Like getting a big check in the mail should be an incredible thing. But there's really something to be said for building your wealth gradually over time. And then if you do get that windfall, you'll know what to do with it and it won't cause this issue for you. So what you're learning today, you'll be able to put into practice if you do get a big inheritance, or you do get a big check in the mail, or you do get a large gift from a generous family member. So common causes of sudden wealth syndrome, let's look into this. So we talked about this already: lottery winnings, large inheritance, a high value legal settlement, sale of a successful business, which, that's kind of a sad thing, isn't it? That maybe you put a ton of time and energy and money into selling your business, into building up your business, but then you sell it and think about all the hours and hours and hours you put into building that business, and then have the money cause you problems at the end of the day. So that would be very sad. So again, it's so important to learn and build your skills and your personal finance skills, build your wealth mindset over time so that doesn't happen to you. And then also sometimes you'll see this with athletes, entertainers, or entrepreneurs experiencing rapid financial success, that they will get the sudden wealth syndrome. So it's never fear. It's very common and it happens. So here's how to cope with it. If you recognize these symptoms in yourself, you've struggled with this before, or you're just kind of thinking about how you would handle it if you had a sudden windfall. The first thing to do if you do suddenly come into a lot of money is to assemble your financial team. It's really important to get a good financial advisor on board, get a good investment advisor on board, a good retirement planner, professionals who handle large amounts of money all day long and to whom this is no big deal, and then be able to work with them because they will have been spending decades and decades of their careers helping other people in your shoes make the same decisions with large amounts of money and make wise decisions. So really important to assemble your financial team. The second thing is, if the money is starting to cause problems for yourself or for your relationships in your life, really seek out therapy and counseling, because that's also really important. The last thing you want to do is have something that could be a positive turn into a negative by ruining your relationships. So really key there. The third way to cope with sudden wealth syndrome is to educate yourself about money. So if you just come into a bunch of wealth, then it's never too late to start learning the financial skills. But this is where I really, really recommend that you start building your financial skills early. And then if you have a windfall, you'll be all prepared to know what to do with that and how to manage that wisely. The fourth thing to do is to take time to adjust. It's really important if you have any big life change in your life, and this includes sudden wealth. It's really important to not make any hasty decisions. So this is not the time to go buying a new car or selling your house and buying a new house, or splitting up with your partner or whatever, what have you, like all the different things that can happen when people go through life changes. It's really important. Don't make any decisions in haste. Just kind of take time to get used to your new situation and your new financial position. And then just make decisions as you go from there, but just really take time to adjust to that. And then the fifth thing to do is to set boundaries. So clearly define how and when you will assist others financially, or if at all, if you get overwhelmed by requests. This is another issue that a lot of people can have if they come into a lot of money, is they might be bombarded with charities and other groups who genuinely need the money, or maybe it's friends and family members who genuinely need the money, but then just feeling like you're suddenly having to make all these decisions all at the same time can be very stressful. So having good boundaries is always a great idea, and no more so than when it comes to money. So that's sudden wealth syndrome for you. I'm really interested to hear your comments. Leave them down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Come subscribe, and I will see you again next time.